So a friend of mine was nice enough to let me borrow one of these. This is a EMF RF reader, basically to measure the radiation and harmful frequencies coming from your wireless devices. So this is basically going to be reading items like your cell phone, your laptops, tablets, wireless router, Bluetooth speaker, basically anything that has a wireless connection. Okay, so just really quickly, the two areas you're going to want to pay attention to here is the bottom one, the EMF section, and the top left, the RF section. These two are going to be basically measuring the devices I just mentioned, your cell phones and router, in addition to the smart meter on your home, if you have one, the cell towers, basically anything that's giving off radio frequency or electromagnetic frequencies. Now, the first device I'm going to show is a laptop. If you notice here, the RF and EMF are down to practically zero. The EF is up, probably picking up on the ceiling fan or some of the electrical items in the room right now. But as we get closer to the laptop, we'll watch things increase. And as you get closer and closer, you'll see everything spike. EMF jumping up into the 200 range at times, maybe even 300. This one actually makes all three go up. So again, think about this when your laptop is sitting on your lap for long periods of time. This is not what you want running into your legs. But the good news is, as you start to pull away, it's all about close proximity. Having some type of protection or just not using this for long periods of time on your lap would be the answer. Maybe just set it on a kitchen table instead of your lap. But as you can see, it's pretty high because of the wireless connection. So now I'd like to show you a cell phone. As you can see, we're over here away from it. The readings are at practically zero. So just setting it next to it, you can see it jump here. And if we were to set it right on top of it, you'll see the EMF spike up. So here we're up to 500 in the RF range and between 6 and 20 in the RF range. Just by having this constantly up against your body, in your pocket, this is what is giving off. Now keep in mind, this is just an idle cell phone. The important thing to remember about a cell phone is it's constantly sending and receiving data. So each time that you're, sending a text, scrolling social media, using the internet, especially streaming, you are going to be sending out more frequencies. So, for instance, let's go to Spotify and stream music. You can see here it's even significantly higher in both categories. So when you're watching a YouTube video or playing Spotify and your phone is in your pocket, you're giving out just unimaginable amounts of wireless radiation to your body. Now the reader is at the top of this device, so you'll notice that it picks up more when it's right over top of it. But that's actually more of an accurate depiction because it's usually right up against our bodies, not sitting next to it like this. Now, let's put airplane mode on. As you can see, this drops down to almost nothing, both the RF and the EMF. So just by simply putting it on airplane mode is going to do wonders. This is what you want to do at night when you're sleeping. Try to keep it out of the same room with you if possible, but airplane mode is a great option if you don't need to be using it. So let's just turn our Bluetooth on. Just by turning Bluetooth, it went from 0 to 55 instantly. And we turn all our signals back on here, and it will jump even higher, and it will spike each time it's sending and receiving data. So the more you're using your phone, when it's plugged into a cord, you are going to be giving off the most wireless radiation. I know some of us have felt our phones get hot before when they're in too much use. If you're playing music and scrolling Facebook and texting all while charging your phone's going to start to get hot, and this is not a good thing. This is not a good thing for our children to be playing with. This is not a good thing to have up against our bodies for long periods of time or when we're sleeping. See, when we're playing a YouTube video, it's even beeping in the danger zone. So exceedingly high levels when we're streaming a video. Turn it all off. As you can see, the video is still playing, so the EMF is still losing its mind. Let's make sure we turn it all the way off. Make sure our internet connection is off. And you can see it's way down. Even yet, with airplane mode, we're still giving off some EMF. But it's way less, and as soon as you pull away, it goes down. Now, if you're not familiar with the harmful effects of wireless radiation, I encourage you to look into it more. I'm not really going to spend a lot of time in this video talking about the evidence and why this is bad for you. If you want to look more into that, please check out Environmental Health Trust. You can visit their website at ehtrust.org. There is thousands of studies dating back for decades, peer-reviewed literature, real science that is, it's out there and you can find it for 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G. So we know that this stuff is harmful. That's in the public record. That's not really what I want to explain here today. I really just want to show you what some of these devices are reading on the meter, and you can take matters into your own hands, and hopefully you can try to reduce your exposure if at all possible. So just by sitting in the same room as a wireless router, you're going to be taking on some of the frequencies. As you can see here, just by sitting in this chair, it's spiking in the RF range. But the closer you get, the worse it becomes. So at about 1 foot away, I'm still getting a reading of 4 to 5. A few inches away. And touching it. So this is another interesting one. Here I'm sitting in a Toyota Prius. This is a hybrid vehicle, and hybrid and electric cars give off more EMF than your typical gas-powered cars. So I'm just going to show you what happens when I turn the vehicle on here. As you can see, it's at practically 0. And just turning the car on, you can see it spiking in the EMF range. And now if you're to run Bluetooth, have multiple cell phones in the car, it's going to go even higher. But as you can see, just running the vehicle, and as you drive around in it, you're surrounded by a little bit of EMF. And when you turn it back off, back down. Now, the harmful effects of wireless radiation have been linked to tumors, cancer, abnormal brain function, sleep problems, irritability, mood problems. And there have been people that have reported as soon as they take the unnecessary smart devices out of their bedrooms when they sleep, moving the wireless router into a different room, it improves their sleep, it improves their mood. So there are obviously more people, some people who are more sensitive to this than others, but it can't hurt to cut back on your exposure where you can. Now, the one on the top right is a little bit different. The EF, it's for electric frequencies. So it's basically going to be picking up on anything that's connected to power. So when you put it close to an electrical outlet, a ceiling fan, maybe your stove, refrigerator, anything that is on and connected to power. Now, it is my understanding that the electric frequencies are not as harmful as the EMF and RF that we are mainly concerned about, that are coming from smart and wireless devices. But still, electric frequencies give off what people call dirty electricity, and it's still something to keep in mind. You don't necessarily want to be sleeping next to electrical outlets that have things plugged into them all night long. You want to try to unplug those things and remove these items from your room, especially where you're sleeping at night. Notice as we get higher and closer to the ceiling fan, it starts to spike. So again here, as we get closer to this wall outlet, you'll see it start to jump. Now, I know some of this information can be a little overwhelming, especially if you're not familiar, but just remember, it's not about being perfect. The takeaway here is to be more conscious of your use and take small incremental steps to reduce your exposure. So whether you get a protective shield for your phone, something that one of those laptop pads that goes in between your laptop and your legs, maybe you put a Faraday cage on your smart meter, whatever it may be. Try to take the small steps to reduce the exposure in your home, in your vehicle, around your children, and these are the things that we can do to make ourselves safer in these environments. I like the Fender Shield. They make a really good case that goes around your phone and protects you somewhat when it's in your pocket and on your person. It's not the end-all be-all, but it is an option. They also sell laptop pads, blankets for your children. You can also visit the No Choice Project. They sell hoodies that you can wear when you're traveling to protect you from harmful radiation.